And the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has come hard on the electoral umpire, and that is INEC, over the issue of its card readers. The opposition party is alleging that some of the officials of the commission confessed that its card readers were being circumvented. The PDP says that confirms its position that the Kogi and Bayelsa governorship elections, as well as the Kogi West senatorial election, were all manipulated and therefore fraudulent. The party says the words of two INEC commissioners, Mr. Festus Okoye and Mr. Haruna Mohammed, that the card readers were circumvented in elections conducted by the commission did not come to it as a surprise. The PDP says it totally rejects attempts by INEC to shift the blame for its failures to other political parties. In the meantime, INEC has come in defense of the smart card readers, saying that it is sacrosanct for the elections and denied the allegations coming from the People's Democratic Party. The electoral umpire is frowning on the way politicians willfully bypass the process of verifying voters in an election through the smart card readers. The electoral umpire says it will continue to use and improve the role of smart card readers in helping to stop election malpractice. INEC has warned that any political party candidate, polling agent or electorate who resists the use of the card readers or obstructs it, indeed is truncating the electoral process, and such will attract zero votes for the affected polling units. We hear more on this matter from the INEC National Commissioner, Mr. Festus Okoye. He joins us from our Abuja studios. I would like to welcome you to the program and ask straight away, ahead of the supplementary elections tomorrow, and, it seems there have also been a back and forth as to the elections of November 16th in both Kogi and Bayelsa State. But what can you tell us about the sacrosanctity, if I might use that word, about the smart card reader?
Well, the Independent National Electoral Commission will continue to use and deploy the smart card reader in all elections. The smart card reader is innovative, the smart card reader is creative, and the smart card reader is novel, and was designed purposely and fundamentally to bolster the credibility and transparency of the accreditation process. And we have made it very clear in paragraph 10 of our guidelines, regulations and guidelines, that it is incumbent on every presiding officer to use the smart card reader for the purposes of accreditation. We want to be sure that the permanent voters card that is brought to the polling unit belongs to the Independent National Electoral Commission. So it must be verified. We also want to know and be sure that the person who wants to vote is the genuine holder of that particular permanent voters card. So we are going to continue to deploy the smart card reader in every election because it has brought transparency and credibility to the electoral process.
But Mr. Okoye, if I may at this point, weren't there problems that you encountered during the November 16th elections with the smart card readers?
No. The issue relating to the smart card reader has nothing to do with the issue of problems. Yes, in areas where we have had smart card reader malfunction, we have trained our registration area engineers and technicians to take care of smart card reader malfunction. And we also have redundancies that we deploy. But we also have situations where some political forces who believe that the smart card reader will prevent them from engaging in electoral malpractices try to bypass the regime of the smart card reader. And we are saying that we are going to continue to use the smart card reader and also to take measures to make sure that the sanctity of the smart card reader is respected. So we are improving on the regime of the smart card reader, and we're also working shoulder to shoulder with the National Assembly and civil society groups and organizations to make sure that the smart card reader is imputed into the Electoral Act and it will become the dominant method of proving overvoting.
For more clarification on what you've said, for the elections that held November 16th, did you encounter problems with the smart card readers?
Well, since the introduction of the smart card reader, the commission has encountered a few problems in a few polling units, and wherever we encounter problems relating to issue of malfunction, we have technicians that deal with those problems.
The question as to what happened in Kogi and Bayelsa, if indeed you encountered problems with the smart card readers for the elections in Kogi and Bayelsa November 16th.
No. There is no doubt whatsoever that in a few places there were reports of smart card reader malfunction, and we had sufficient redundancies, and we intervened speedily and restored the sanctity of the smart card reader in those polling units. We also received a few reports of attempts to bypass the use of the smart card reader. And all the presiding officers had very clear instructions that if there's overvoting in any polling unit, that the result of that particular polling unit should be cancelled, and that if any community resists the use of the smart card reader, or any political force resists the use of the smart card reader, that 0 votes should be entered for that particular polling unit, and it will be taken that election has taken place in that particular polling unit, and it has been concluded. So
I must ask you at this time, that's because we just have a few minutes to close, the PDP, and that's the calls from the candidate for Kogi West, Senator Dino Melaye. He has brought, I believe, a long list of evidence of irregularities, calling for the cancellation of the exercise tomorrow. What's your decision and response to that?
Well, the supplementary elections in Kogi West Senatorial District will go ahead tomorrow. This is because it was the collation stroke returning officer for that particular senatorial district that declared the election as inconclusive. And we have a constitutional and legal obligation to go back and conclude that election. And we are going to conclude it tomorrow.
All right. We'd like to thank you, albeit quite short. Thank you so much, Mr. Festus Okoye, for talking to us at this time.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's it on the program. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to join the conversation on our social media platforms at Channels TV, at CTV Politics, #LunchtimePolitics. I'm Millicent Wonwoka.